Hey there to our 161 subscribers, our future subscribers, and all the people that secretly watch us without subscribing. In this video, we're diving into two major Christian-based conspiracies, the secrets of the Vatican and the lost books of the Bible. We'll explore claims about hidden documents, mysterious artifacts, and prophecies locked away in the Vatican archives, as well as the controversial texts that were left out of the Bible, like the Gospel of Mary and the Gospel of Judas. Just a heads up, this video explores theories and claims that some may find controversial. I believe we all have free will and the right to decide what we believe for ourselves. My goal is to present the information, not to tell you what to think. So keep an open mind and let's dive in. The Vatican is home to one of the most secretive archives in the world, officially called the Vatican Apostolic Archive, formerly known as the Vatican Secret Archive. It's said to contain centuries worth of documents, letters, and artifacts accessible only to a select few. Because of this secrecy, many conspiracy theories have emerged about what might be hidden inside. The first theory is hidden biblical texts. Some theorists believe the Vatican's archives hold lost or suppressed biblical texts, manuscripts that could completely reshape Christian history. These could include Gnostic Gospels such as the Gospel of Mary or the Gospel of Judas, which were excluded from the Bible during early Christian councils. The argument is that these texts present a different view of Jesus, his teachings, and the role of women in early Christianity. Some even believe the Vatican is keeping these texts hidden to maintain control over what people believe. The Vatican argues that the exclusion of certain texts was a result of theological debate in the early Christian church. These texts weren't considered authentic by early Christian leaders and were often written long after the events they describe. The church insists it doesn't hide anything, but rather follows centuries of tradition in maintaining the biblical canon. The second theory is about prophecies and end times predictions. There are claims that the Vatican holds prophecies that extend far beyond the book of Revelation. One theory suggests the Vatican has access to apocalyptic predictions made by saints like Saint Malachi, whose prophecy allegedly predicts the number of popes leading up to the end of the world. Others speculate the Vatican might be hiding information about upcoming world events, such as natural disasters or political upheaval, all tied to biblical prophecies. Theories often suggest that the Vatican is keeping this knowledge secret to prevent panic or control the flow of information. The Vatican states that prophecies are often subjective interpretations and that the focus should be on living a moral life rather than predicting the future. Many of the prophecy of the Pope's predictions are vague and can be interpreted in many ways. The Vatican itself doesn't endorse any apocalyptic predictions. The third theory is evidence of extraterrestrials. It may sound pretty out there, but some claim that the Vatican knows the truth about extraterrestrial life. The theory is that the Vatican has had access to ancient manuscripts and alien artifacts, and even the Church's own teachings might have been influenced by extraterrestrial beings. One famous claim is that the Vatican has a secret document detailing encounters with UFOs and the implications these might have for religion and human history. The idea is that the Church has kept the knowledge under wraps to avoid unsettling believers and upending traditional religious views. The Vatican acknowledges the possibility of extraterrestrial life, given the vastness of the universe, but maintains that the discovery of aliens would not undermine faith. The Vatican's focus is on the spiritual, not extraterrestrial, and any claims of hidden alien evidence are more rooted in conspiracy than in fact. The fourth theory is suppressed scientific discoveries. Some believe that the Vatican has long been aware of the scientific discoveries that challenge traditional religious views, but has kept them hidden to protect its authority. This could include evidence of the theory of evolution long before Darwin, or even technologies that predate modern civilization. Some theorists suggest that the Vatican's archive might even hold documents proving early knowledge of space travel, which was mysteriously suppressed. The Church's history with scientific advancements has been controversial, especially with events like the trial of Galileo. This theory adds fuel to the argument that the Vatican might be hiding important truths. The Vatican defends its history with science, pointing to figures like Galileo, who was eventually vindicated after the Church's initial resistance. The Church also accepted the theory of evolution as compatible with Christian doctrine. The Vatican argues that science and faith are not in conflict, and both contribute to understanding the world. The fifth theory is the Grand Vatican Conspiracy. This is a broad theory that suggests the Vatican is not just a religious institution, but also a powerful secret society, pulling strings behind the scenes to influence global politics, economics, and events. Some believe the Vatican's control over vast wealth and knowledge has allowed it to shape history, wars, elections, and even the creation of some major global institutions. This theory often suggests that the Vatican is not just an innocent spiritual center, but a shadowy force manipulating world events for its own gain. The Vatican's argument is that they are a religious institution, not a political one, and its influence on global politics is often overestimated. The Church's primary mission is spiritual, and while it does engage in social and political issues, it doesn't control or manipulate global events. The Vatican itself argues that its role is to guide people in matters of faith, not dominate world affairs. Earlier, we mentioned that the Vatican is believed to hold hidden texts, including Gnostic Gospels like the Gospel of Mary and the Gospel of Judas. This leads us to a deeper dive into the lost books of the Bible, those ancient texts that were said to be excluded from the Bible and remain shrouded in mystery. Some believe that these books hold vital information about the life of Jesus, the apostles, and early Christian church. But why were they supposedly excluded from the Bible? Were they suppressed, or were they just not considered authentic? Let's take a look at some of the most famous texts and the theories surrounding them. The first text is the Gospel of Mary and the Gospel of Judas. These two Gospels are probably the most well-known of the lost books. The Gospel of Mary presents Mary Magdalene in a much more prominent role, even suggesting she was a close companion of Jesus and that her teachings were suppressed by the early church. The Gospel of Judas, on the other hand, portrays Judas Iscariot not as a traitor but as someone carrying out Jesus' will by betraying him, which flips the traditional narrative. The Vatican argues that these texts were not included because they were written long after the events they describe and were not considered authentic by early church leaders. They also contain ideas that contradict traditional Christian teachings and therefore were not accepted as part of the Christian canon. The second text is the Book of Enoch. This ancient text, often cited as a key to understanding the Old Testament, includes detailed stories about angels, giants, and prophecies. The Book of Enoch was highly influential in early Christianity, but was excluded from the Bible due to its complex and controversial nature. Some theorists suggest it contains hidden knowledge about the divine and the apocalypse. The Vatican explains that the Book of Enoch was excluded because it was considered apocryphal. I don't know if I pronounced that right, meaning it wasn't believed to be inspired by God. Early Christian leaders debated the authenticity of such writings, and the book was ultimately not included due to theological concerns. The third text is the Apocalypse of Peter. This text offers an early Christian view of hell, describing it in vivid detail. It was once included in some Christian texts, but was later removed from the New Testament. The Apocalypse of Peter offers an alternative view of the afterlife that differs significantly from the one presented in the canonical Bible. The Vatican argues that while this text offers a striking vision of the afterlife, it doesn't align with Christian theology, particularly regarding the concept of salvation and judgment. Its exclusion was likely based on these theological differences. The fourth text is the Infancy Gospel of Thomas. This gospel offers a narrative about the childhood of Jesus that's not found in the canonical Gospels. It includes stories of Jesus performing miracles as a child, such as striking down bullies and bringing clay birds to life. Some theorists believe that these childhood stories give insight into Jesus' divine nature. The Vatican notes that the Infancy Gospel of Thomas was rejected because it presents a distorted view of Jesus' early life that doesn't align with teachings of the Church. It was written long after Jesus' death and doesn't offer a reliable account of his life. The fifth text is the Gospel of Thomas. This gospel is a collection of sayings attributed to Jesus, and it has been a significant subject of study. Unlike the canonical Gospels, it doesn't tell a narrative story, but focuses on Jesus' teachings, many of which challenge traditional Christian thought. Some believe that the Gospel of Thomas reveals a more mystical side of Jesus and his message. The Vatican maintains that the Gospel of Thomas was excluded because it was written too late and its teachings didn't align with the Christian doctrine that was being solidified in the early church. It is often considered a Gnostic text, which the Vatican regards as incompatible with the teachings of the true church. These lost books continue to spark debates and fuel theories about what early Christianity looked like and why certain texts were left out. While some claim these excluded writings hold the key to understanding the true teachings of Jesus, the Vatican stands by its decision to uphold the traditional biblical canon. It's important to remember that whether we embrace these theories or not, they offer us a glimpse into the rich and complex history of the Church and its evolving understanding of faith. Whether it's the Vatican's secretive archives or the lost books that were supposedly excluded from the Bible, these theories challenge us to question what we know about history, religion, and the hidden forces that might be shaping our understanding of the world. While some believe that these secrets are deliberately kept from the public, others argue that there's no conspiracy at all, just a natural evolution of faith and history. What do you think? Are these hidden truths worth uncovering, or are they better left in the past? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and remember, as always, keep an open mind. And there will be more theories coming up. I'm not exactly sure when the next ones will be, but I do have a list of them that I'm curious to dive into. So if you like this video, please give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. I've already forgot what I normally say because I'm tired. And yeah, so please like, subscribe, comment, and share, and get your friends to do the same thing. And I will be back as soon as I can. Thanks. Bye.